Thank you very much. Ruth, if you're out there, I hope you're not crying yet. Great. That was a nice way to start the evening. Thanks for enjoying that. Okay, well, obviously those were some tunes from Scotland, and we're going to hop across now to Ireland. All right, we got some Irish. All right. We have to be careful what we say tonight, I can tell.
Oh, I won't.
So, yeah, most people when they think of Irish traditional music think of jigs and reels, and indeed there are many thousands of those. But they also dance polkas in Ireland, and there's one particular part of Ireland where they spend their lives dancing polkas, in between drinking Guinness, I think. But so we're going to play a few of those said polkas. John and I are going to start off with a tune, and then Stu and David will carry on. And then we'll all join in on the last tune. The last tune, the first two tunes are kind of traditional old polkas, very steady beats for dancing. But the last tune was written by a gentleman by the name of Donald Lunny, who plays the same instrument as this, the bouzouki. I think old Donald had a sense of humor when it came to writing dance tunes, because he added a few beats here and there that shouldn't really be there. So if you find yourselves clapping along and you're suddenly not in time with the music anymore, don't worry about it, it's not you. And it's definitely not us. It's Donald. So.
you very much. Anybody hurt out there? Yeah. Thanks very much. Nobody got hurt on that last tune, right? Missing a couple beats here and there. It's dangerous to clap to, even more dangerous to dance to. That's why we're up here playing safely behind the microphones. I think Stu needs a microphone.
We need a little microphone over here on stage.
Check.
Right?
There you go. Thank you, Chaz.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stewart Mason over there on the guitar. Now you know he's here.
Okay, now it's your turn. We're going to do a song now which has a chorus, and audiences are expected to join in choruses. Certainly in Montana anyway, I'm sure that's the case. And this is a Scottish song called The Rover Seldom Sober. Yep, I hear a few people recognizing themselves out in the audience there. And it tells the story of a young Scotsman who comes out of the pub one night after having had a few beers or glasses of scotch or 7-Up or something like that. And he decides to go and see his true love. But his true love lives way away over the mountains, like towards Lincoln somewhere. And this is long before the days of public transport or automobiles, so the only way he can get there is to walk, and it's pouring with rain. But he still decides to go, because that's what drunken Scotsmen do. So the song tells the story of what happens when he gets there, and it is PG rated, so don't worry. So it is fairly complicated chorus, so we won't blame you if you don't pick it up too well. The other choruses later on are very easy, so here we go. We'll give this a whirl. Well, I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover, a high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. And though the night be as dark as dungeon, no star to be seen above, I will be guided without a stumble into the arms of me own true love. Well, I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover, a high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. He stepped up to her bedroom window, kneeling gently upon a stone. He's rapped at her bedroom window, my darling dear, do you lie alone? She's raised her head from her snow-white pillow, with her arms about her breast. Well, who is that at me bedroom window, disturbing me at me long night's rest? Well, I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover, a high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. It's only me, your own true lover. Open the door and let me in, for I have come on a long, long journey, and I'm near drenched to the skin. She's opened the door with the greatest pleasure. She's opened the door, she's let him in. They both shook hands and embraced each other, until the morning they lay as one. Well, I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover, a high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. The cocks were crowing, the birds were whistling, the birds they ran free about the brae. Remember last time a bloomin' laddie and the farmer I must obey, and so me lass I must gang and leave thee, and though the hills they are high above, I will climb through them with greater pleasure, since I've been in the arms of my love. Well, I'm a rover, seldom sober, I'm a rover, a high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. Well, I'm a rover, seldom sober, I'm a rover, a high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company.
Thank you. Pete Haworth, lead vocals. The Lancashire Stallion.
All right. And that was a little tune that John played there called Larry Redican's Slip Jig. Is that right, John? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So, we're going to play some jigs for you now, and we're very happy to welcome our dancer, Miss Bethany Duff, onto the stage for this set. There are two jigs here, and she's going to come out and join us on the second one. But the first of these tunes is called the Lilting Banshee. Anybody know what a banshee is? No, a banshee? Yeah. Do you have those in Montana? It's a Honda ATV vehicle, right? That's what I heard. Anyway, no. Somebody did say there is a Honda ATV vehicle called that, but anyway, the original banshee was, of course, a spirit in Ireland that runs around at night making weird noises and frightening children. Yeah, it's kind of like bagpipers in Scotland, actually. But anyway,
we do what we can.
the second tune is called a cowboy jig, and I know there's got to be some cowboys around here. Why there's an Irish tune named the cowboy jig, I'm not quite sure, but anyway.
We got to look that one up on the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, I'm not sure, but I think they have cattle in Ireland as well.
Yeah, but they don't call them cowboys, I think, though, John. But, Stewart, the end there on the guitar, is a great historian of Irish music and so on, and he actually has found out the origin of the Irish jig, how it came about. Is that right, Stu?
Too much beer and not enough restrooms.
Yeah. But I think our dancer Bethany has in fact been to the restroom, so we'll get started with the tune now.
Maybe the rest of you will be dancing the jig by the end of the night as well. So here we go with some jigs. Miss Bethany Duff on the Irish jig. Thank you very much.
So a little bit of a history lesson on this set of tunes. The first two tunes, I'm going to play a set of 3 reels. The first 2 tunes are from a man by the name of Chief O'Neill. His official name was Francis O'Neill. He came over to America in the 1880s. He was coming over from County Sligo, Ireland. He was a flute player. We got some people from Sligo? Nice. All right. This is very cool. This is my type of place. Anyway, so he's coming over and he gets shipwrecked around San Francisco. So anyway, the story has it he was making his way east, and he actually stopped in I think it was Great Falls, and he was like herding sheep or something like that around the late 1800s. And he eventually made his way over to Chicago, probably for the music, and became a police officer. He gets there, and the first week on the duty, I think, first week was it? First month, Stu's the historian. First month he gets shot, like so many police officers, and anyway, survives, and they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So he goes on to become the chief of police in the 1900s. And it turns out around that time, a lot of other people were immigrating from Ireland looking for work, leaving their families and braving the seas to come over because there was famine and a lot of bad stuff going on. So they came over, and Chief O'Neill, or Francis O'Neill, would give these guys jobs as police officers if they could play tunes and hold their own, if they were tough and could play tunes, which describes a lot of Ireland. So these guys would hang out, and they would basically trade traditional Irish tunes, and they'd play music, and they'd get off work and hang around the station, and word has it, drink a little whiskey, maybe even light up sorry, I know this is an institution of learning, light up a cigarette and play music all night, and that's my kind of police officer. So anyway, the first 2 tunes were saved and collected by Chief O'Neill. The first one is called Lord Gordon's. The second tune is called The Kerry Huntsman. It's about a hunter from County Kerry. Very interesting. And the third tune is more contemporary. It's called Miss Creehans. It's called Miss Creehans. It was taught to me by a box player, an famous accordion player from Ireland named Alan Kelly, called Miss Creehans. And let's see, our guitar player is changing a string, so I don't know. You guys, did I leave anything out? I'm kind of stalling here. Yeah. Ready?
John Weed on the fiddle, folks.
There he is.
Thank you very much. Thanks.